Scarlett, let's bring it back closer to home, if we may. The Channel, we've just been hearing the numbers there. What's your thoughts?
I just think we have to remember how desperate these people are. I mean, I don't know, the thought of putting myself and my children, particularly if they're young, into an inflatable dinghy to cross the Channel in November is horrendous. These people are absolutely desperate. And instead of treating them sort of like vermin, I mean, I think we should think about what we should be doing.
Treating them like vermin? Hang on a minute. They get pretty much taxied over to the UK. They then get put into hotels.
Michelle,
they get given money pocket money, some might say. That's not treated like them.
Michelle, they are not treated well. They were put up in barracks rather than hotels. They're not taxied in. They're rescued. That's why the RNLI do it. But these are absolutely desperate people. They're as desperate as the people on the Belarus border, where we feel incredibly sorry for those people. They're caught between the Poles and the Belarusians. Many of them will freeze to death. So these people are risking drowning. They drown. I mean, every day there is drowning. It's not that they're all safe, right? And I just think that actually what we need to do is, instead of thinking we're Fortress Britain, we want them out, is to go with the rest of the European Union and work out what we're going to do, because it's going to get worse, isn't it? I mean, these people are not thinking, oh well, I could have a good life. They are fleeing things, right? They're fleeing.
France.
What?
France.
They don't want to be in France. I mean, most of them...
Hang on, you've just said that they're absolutely desperate.
No, they are desperate to get to London because they can't... They're desperate to get to England. Most of them have family here, right? That's why they're trying to get here. That's why they're leaving France. That's why they're not in Germany, where lots of those people in Belarus are trying to get to Germany. I mean, it's 1,000. In Greece... They have tons and tons of people. I mean, thousands and thousands of people a day coming over from Turkey. These are desperate people. And what we should be doing is thinking, what do we do? What do we do as Europe? What do we do as the world? Because it's just going to get worse. And just to say, you know, put them on an island, send them back, it doesn't actually solve the problem.
Well, what do we do then, Alex Dean?
I think we take more people through the approved United Nations scheme, which places those who have legitimate claims to asylum or refugee status. And Britain's already one of the most generous countries in the world at that, and I applaud that. And if, in answer to the challenge we've just been given, we do more of that, then I would welcome it. But the people that we take through those schemes are people who are on the borders of displaced countries and in disputed territories. They're not people who've paid people smugglers to take them through an entire continent. And my response to what we've just heard is, if you are that desperate and if you are that afraid for your life, why wouldn't you seek asylum in France?
I've already said they're desperate coming. They're not seeking asylum in France because they want to get to they've mostly got family here. We don't...
I don't mean to be unfair. I agree with you that they are risking their lives and the lives of others in putting themselves in one of the busiest waterways in the world. And why would you do that?
What they've done to get to France.
France is a safe country, isn't it?
But having had, I mean, look, lots of them come from Iraq, they come from the Horn of Africa. They've had a long journey already. They've risked an awful lot. A lot of them have come, you know, have travelled across the Mediterranean. These are the people who want to get to England. Masses and masses of people who are leaving these very dangerous places actually want to get to Germany, want to get to France. We only see a tiny
I'm not trying to be unfair, and not rhetorical. What's wrong with France? Why wouldn't they stop? Why wouldn't they apply for asylum there?
Because they probably speak English and most of them have got family here. That's why they want to come.
That's not a good enough reason to be a refugee or an asylum seeker.
The problem is, of course, is that we don't have currently control of who's coming into the country. And so I think everyone around this panel is sympathetic to the human being side of the discussion. But one of the reasons, and I thought it was a disaster, but not for now, one of the reasons Brexit happened was that the people wanted controlled immigration, right? I think that was a fact of that debate. And so what we've now got is, you know, we're absolutely right that Scarlett said we take a fraction of those who go to France, a fraction of other countries, but British people, whatever their race, want to see that our borders are properly policed and controlled, like Alex said. And Michelle, the problem is it's a global thing, right? People want a better life. This is a fantastic country, but we've got to try and get to a system where the rules are followed, because that's what upsets people. And local authorities across the country they don't have the money to do it. So, I mean, we have to be a bit tougher on our processes without losing our humanity, I think.